now we feel like we're going a direction.
Yeah, we're no longer in the fog. We can see through the fog, and we can see a path ahead of us. We can see where we need to be going and where we need to focus energy.
We're smiling more. We're laughing more.
I love that.
And we're having more fun. And our email list has taken off. We have many more options for that coming in and people sharing. So just all the way around, all those things we wanted
are here.
Yeah, I remember the day that you guys told me, okay, hold on. All the things you asked for and you wanted are starting to come to you. Take a break here and go for it. And it is truly all those things we wanted are coming in almost faster than we can handle. Now we're enjoying the process.
Hey friend, welcome to the Badass is the New Black podcast, where our motto is done is better than perfect. I'm Chrissy Chin, here on a mission to help you grow your business online, turn your leads into lifelong customers, and scale to 6 figures and beyond so you can work less and enjoy and earn a whole lot more. Most importantly, I'm a laid-back wife, a mom, a friend who started as a peds nurse, turned network marketer, and now a serial entrepreneur. This podcast is for ambitious people with an idea, a vision, but no idea how to get there. On this podcast, I'll give actionable steps to keep you moving forward while you learn new business strategies, better systems and processes, marketing, sales, all the things you need to build and scale a blissful business that keeps your pocketbooks growing. Grab a beverage, open up your notes app, and let's get to it. It's an exciting day here on the podcast because Build a Blissful Business is open for enrollment. We're excited. We're already bringing in new people into the program, and I cannot wait to work with you when you join us. Build a Blissful Business is our 7-step group program to help you get your business online with a high converting website and an automated 7-figure funnel so that you can build the thriving business that you dream of while only working part-time. And over the last 6 weeks, we have been breaking this program down, talking about the importance of what you're doing in your business and the things that matter the most to automate your business, allow you to work more efficiently, and also importantly, to make it profitable. Because there's no point in automating your business if you don't have the right steps in place with the right strategy so that it's actually profitable. We don't care if we're growing an email list unless it's an email list of people that want to buy what you have to offer. So over the last 6 weeks, we have talked about these different things, these different areas, these key strategies. So if you want to go back and listen to any of the episodes, if you're just tuning in now, those are still available for you to listen to. And today we're opening up the floor to bring in some of our students, our amazing students from Build a Blissful Business, to share a bit about their story with you, what their experience was like, what they were feeling maybe before they joined the program, and how the program has transformed their business. People are saying their marriage has improved in terms of communication. They used to fight about their website. Now they're not fighting about it anymore. And everything is just more seamless. It's easier to do. And I'm not going to share too much because I want to let them share their stories and let the words come out of their mouth to you. But this is an opportunity for you to stop feeling stuck, to stop wishing that you had all of these things set up, that you had more time. And it's time to start taking action. And the first step is joining us inside Build a Blissful Business to get your website set up, get your funnel set up, and just have everything work a lot more smooth and efficiently for you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in to hear some of these stories. And if you have more questions about BBB, just go to buildablissfulbusiness.com. And if you're ready to join us, you can head over there too to see all of the options. We've got incredible payment options to get you started for a little amount of money. All right, let's dive in. I'm so excited to bring Sierra Rubin onto the podcast to share a little bit about her experience with Build a Blissful Business. And the really exciting thing is that Sierra taught a workshop inside Build a Blissful Business for our students. Our students loved it. It's all about intuition and helping you use your intuition to make decisions quicker and help you kind of just prevent getting stuck in this process of building your business, because there's a lot going on. But Sierra, I just want to turn it over to you and just have you share a little bit about maybe why you ended up, because you did the training in the program and then you were like, and I also need this program. I know you're working through a rebrand. So share a little bit maybe about where you were in your business when you decided to jump in and kind of how things are looking now as you're moving through the process.
Yeah, thank you. So excited to be here. I have known you for like 8 years, and that's about how long that I have been in business. I built my first website 8 years ago on Weebly. Don't judge. And it was like the easiest platform for me to understand at the time, and have been through the school of hard knocks when it comes to business online. I've done all the things wrong and to figure out what to do that is right. And then when you and I sort of reconnected, I was just about finished writing my first book and just realized that I needed to completely rebrand my business to gear it towards the book and what I was writing in the book, the information and the transformation that I'm providing in the book, which will be coming out hopefully in January. By the way, it's called You Always Know. It's all about helping empaths develop their intuition so that they can trust it. But so after all of that 8 years, like I realized that, while you can learn things yourself and you can DIY a lot of things, when you work with somebody who knows what the heck they're doing, it just goes faster. It goes a lot faster and can cut through a lot of the questioning and second guessing and all of that. And so you offered me the opportunity to teach the workshop, but then I was like, no, I need this. Like after 8 years of pivoting into different niches or niches, and after 8 years of, wanting to serve everybody. So serving not nobody. I mean, I've worked with hundreds of clients at this point, but, just not in the way that I know I'm capable of and not having the impact that I know I want to have and that I'm capable of. And so I just knew it was time. It was time to really dive in, and Build a Blissful Business is robust. So I was really, really grateful, a little bit overwhelmed, but you, the way that you set it up is like, it's very digestible. It's easy to follow the steps. You break it down into little parts. And so that's where I was and why I wanted to do it.
I love it. Yeah. I mean, there is, I'm always like, it's a big program, but the truth is like, there's content in there that's going to take you through getting your business set up and really be with you for a very long time. And you can always be coming back to the content, whether it's like, okay, I'm launching a new offer. Let me go back and refresh myself on, really making this offer irresistible, or I'm doing a new offer. So I want a new freebie or a new funnel to lead people to that offer. You can come back to it with fresh eyes. And really, I always say with action comes clarity. So as we're doing things, we always get clearer on that next step. And so, it's not meant to just like do the lesson and, one and done, and it'll be perfect. It's like this course is going to grow with you and help you set your business up and all of the things. So now that you've gone through it, I know you're still, working on your website copy. And I know you also kind of wanted a little bit more of the easy button. So you did a lot of the program, and then you were like, all right, Chrissy, I actually want your team to help me design the website. So we're doing some of that for you, which is so nice. You didn't even have to like look up someone who could design. You're like, it's all there, right?
Yeah.
So tell me, like, what are some of the things that you found have been really helpful, or things you've already set up in your business since going through it that have helped save you time, or just share.
Definitely. So because I have been doing this for 8 years, there are some people, sometimes it can get a little bit like, oh, I already know this stuff. Like, this is basic, I don't need to go through this again. I already know I need an ideal client. just because you know you need an ideal client doesn't mean that you're actually speaking to them. And it doesn't mean that you are consistently speaking to them in the way that they would talk, right? So as somebody who I teach what I learn, and so it comes from a really authentic and embodied place. So I am sort of an ideal client avatar of myself, my former self, but I don't necessarily express myself the way that my ideal client does. Or the way that I think of things is from hindsight, having already gone through the transformation. So I'm not as connected to the way that they're expressing themselves and the thoughts that they have and the problems that they think they have. And so going through the ideal client part of BBB was probably one of the biggest clarity moments for me, because it really, like, I mean, and I've done ideal client exercises before, but I really, really did it. I did every single thing that you told me to do. I did what probably was one of the most valuable things that you told me to do was the interviews, right? So interviewing ideal client avatars, and it took a while. It took a while to set up the interviews, to talk to them, to gather all of their feedback, compile it in a document, look for common themes. But that is everything. That is everything. And it is absolutely the foundation of everything else that I've done. Creating offers, creating lead magnets or freebies, the website copy. So I think that was one of the biggest things, and coming at that step without an ego and just being like, okay, I'm just going to beginner mind and tell me what I need to do. And I'm going to go through it, from scratch.
Oh my God. It's so fascinating because we get so many students that have been in business for a year, 2 years, you're in business for 8 years. Again, it's like everyone's like, oh, I've done the avatar training. And then in the program, especially the students that attend the live coaching calls, we help them get so much clarity. And that is part of the foundation. That's why it's in the foundation part of the program, because you can't really move forward and have a successful business until you really get clear on that. And we've had so many students that just have this aha moment. And the interviews, by the way, we give you the questions to ask in the interview. So it's like, we are holding your hand step by step. So it's not like, all right, go do interviews. It's like, set up a 15-minute interview, ask these questions, look for this, get clear on this. So we really are walking you through, but I love that you got clarity. I can just see it when we talk about your brand, when we talk about your book, all of that, I can just see it all has come together really nice. And you're going to be attracting just those dream customers over and over and over again. Super awesome.
Thank you. And I think a lot of people who are entrepreneurial are like this, but maybe especially people who consider themselves to be like empathic or healers or spiritual. We want to help everybody. And we really, really want to help everybody so much that we have even like a subconscious or unconscious resistance to dialing into who that ideal client is. And, it's one thing to know, okay, well, if I talk to my ideal client, I'm still going to attract other people that are sort of outliers just on the outside of that. It's one thing to know that. And then it's one thing to start seeing it in action and start trusting that. Because it's honestly, it's hard to trust it when you're not seeing it yet. Because when you're getting so specific, it seems counterintuitive, but it does work. It really does work.
Yeah, I love it. What is your one message before we jump off, and I'll have you share your social handle so people can find you? What's your one message for the person who's listening who is feeling resistance to joining the program, either because they feel they're too new in their business? I'm going to give you a couple options here, but just that message that comes to your mind. Someone might be feeling too new in their business. Oh, I don't know if I should invest in a program like this for my business. Or they're already in business and they're like, I've done trainings on ideal client avatar and funnels before. And just the person who, is just like, I'm not sure if this is the right next step for me. What is just the message that comes to mind for that person?
Yeah, there's a couple of things. Number one, trust your gut. Tune into your body to see if it is the right next step for you, right? Put your hand on your heart and your stomach. Ask yourself if it's the right next step and see if your body relaxes or tenses up or stays tense, because a lot of us are tense a lot of the time. See what happens with that. And number two, don't do what I did. Don't do 8 years of wondering and trying to keep believing in yourself and making a couple $1,000s here and there, don't do that. If you're at the beginning, just invest in yourself. If you're struggling with the money part of it, change your mindset around that. See yourself as the most important thing that you can invest in. You are your most important asset. And when you want something, girl, I know you find a way to pay for it, no matter what it is. Okay. If you want it, you find a way, whether you sell stuff, you ask your husband, you work a little extra. I know that you can figure out when you really want to. And I know that you really want to be of service to other people. You really want to have a business that is more than a business. I know it's a mission for you. So don't sleep on it.
Love it. Sierra, thank you for coming on, for sharing your experience with us. Y'all go continue to connect with Sierra, and you're going to get more intuition training inside Build a Blissful Business. I can't even say the name from Sierra. Share where they can find you.
Yeah, so I hang out on Instagram most of the time at Sierra, Ciara.Rubin, Rubin. That's where I'm hanging out, creating content, telling you about my intuition archetypes quiz that you should definitely take. And then we're over in the email world. So that's where you can find me, or at www. I don't know if anybody types the W's anymore. CiaraRubin.com, same spelling.
I love it. There are some websites where you have to type it in or it won't show up. There's something that you haven't connected, y'all, and we'll help you do that inside Build a Blissful Business. We know all the tricks. All right, Sierra, thank you. It's been amazing, and we'll chat soon. I'm so excited to have Lisa on the podcast, who has been just an amazing BBB student. And I just wanted to have her come on here and just share some insights that she had. I know some of you are reaching out, saying, oh, can we talk to a student, that's been in the program and ask some questions. So that's why I wanted to bring her on and just have her share her experience, maybe a tip or two about what to really take advantage of in the program. So Lisa, I can just share a little bit about your background, your business, and if you want to add anything, feel free. You are focusing on your Young Living network marketing business. So you didn't come in saying like, I want to do some course or offer. You're like, I just want to get my Young Living business up online, automated, great website, simplify my systems. I know booking with clients was kind of a thing, that was taking a lot of time. So getting that process automated has been cool to watch you do, and just do this whole process with you. From logo design to getting clear on your avatar. We work together on that, and just everything else. So welcome.
Well, thank you.
And I'm just going to let you dive in and just maybe share some thoughts about like what you were feeling before you jumped into BBB. Like, what were you really struggling with in your business? And then how has this program and the support from us kind of helped you shift to the other side?
Well, thank you for having me. My website that I had before I started with BBB is offered by a third-party company, and I felt like I was very satisfied by it, but it looked like everyone else's, and I wasn't using it. I had it for a few years, and I was not using it to the best of its ability. I didn't have the time. I know it had automated campaigns and things, but I didn't want it to be like everyone else's. And when I heard about BBB after a little bit of thought, I decided I've had this website for a few years. I need to take it to the next level. I needed to get some automation into my systems, have some work done for me while I wasn't working. And I just want to say that the entire course, when you come to like, say, step 2, finding out who my target audience was, which you helped me with that with one of our calls, was absolutely crucial. And I never had an idea. You said one time, you speak to everybody, you speak to nobody. You have to narrow down. And it actually, you helped us break down in a specific process who our client should be or is, who I want to target to, which absolutely helped me narrow it down. And then what was it in step 3 with the offers, how to make an offer and different types of offers that we can do, and how to connect with people. I guess part 5, step 5 was converting the website copy to high converting website copy, making it so that you use words and phrases and you talk to them through your site to make them want to work with you, and using specific phrases to kind of draw them in. And I never thought about it. I feel it in my head and I know what I want to say, but actually getting it down onto the site and having it work to draw people in and having them want to work with me, it's actually it's a process, and it's a learned thing, which you helped with tremendously. I was busy over the last
Yeah, can I touch on that real quick before we move on? Because we were just on a coaching call together, and you were submitting your copy, and I was going through and just helping you clean it up and say, you know, instead of saying, I want you to, let's take that out and let's have this statement go in, because it's going to be a lot more bold. And so that's just the value of having us really at your fingertips to, like, you do such amazing work and you're putting so much great stuff on paper. And then there's these little things that we can just make such a better impact with the copy to really draw in that person and get them to want to work with you. Right. And so I've just seen a lot of aha moments in the calls with you, just like, oh yes, like that makes sense. Okay, this is great. And now you know. And so in the future, doing copy, you're going to think about these things we've talked about.
Sorry about the dogs. Yes, absolutely. I learned that we want the website to speak to them and have it be like, yes, for me. It's not what I want for them. It's what they want for themselves. And not only does it shorten it and make it more clear and concise, but it really gets to the heart of what people need and want. Yeah. And I never saw it that way before. You know, I'm very talkative and I can put it all out on paper and give you my life story, but we don't need that on our websites, and people scroll by, right?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. So now that you've kind of gone through the program, I know you're still kind of tweaking things where you really launch things out there, because you just wrapped up with us in the 4 months prior. What are some of the things that maybe you've implemented already? Like, I know the calendar booking was a big thing for you. That's helped save some time, I think. Yes. So that maybe, and any other little things that you've gotten set up so far that you're like, this is going to either already is or is going to be a huge time saver for your business.
It is going to be the biggest time saver. I started using Calendly and integrated that into the website. And people can book calls with me. They can book calls with another person that I work with at my learning center that I have. We call it the Learning Center. It's where we go to have meetings and classes and stuff. And they can book with me. They can book an hour or an hour and a half. They can book for a class. They can book a half hour for talk about the opportunity, the business opportunity, which is amazing. And I can just put it under these little buttons under the copy on different parts of the website. And if they missed it up here, they're going to see it again down here, and they're going to see it again down here in another way. And, my bio was about 4,000 paragraphs long, and we were able to narrow it down and really, speak to the audience that I need to speak to, and have them want to work with me instead of giving them my whole life story, which is what I thought everybody wanted, but apparently not.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll wrap this up, just to someone who's listening who, is like, well, I've got a website, and it's kind of working, I guess. What are your thoughts on that? What do you want to tell them, having gone through this program and this experience?
I thought that I've had a website for years, which I have. And I've always said, I have a website and, look at me. This is a website on steroids, or a website that is just geared toward the client that you're looking for, or clients. And also another part of it is that it's also not just one-dimensional. There's other parts of my background that I can offer expertise on that can also be weaved into the menu or into the bottom, where things that I like and things that you created all of those templates, and it made it so easy for people to get the Lisa Argyle who does this, or the Lisa Argyle who wants to help struggling moms, or the Lisa Argyle who wants to do this. And it's clear and concise for the first time in forever. And I just can't say how much I recommend. I'm thinking about going through the course again just to fine tune my fine tuning. That's how wonderful I think that the course is. So I would highly recommend it. Anybody who even just has a website and thinks that it's wonderful, I really think it's worth every single penny. Every single penny.
That's amazing. And my apologies, because I said you came in to put your Young Living business on here, but in the process, you were getting certified to be a coach. And since you've been certified in that, we've been able to weave that into your website and blend the two together so you can do it. So that's just also been magical to kind of see that process transform and to get you to see the things that you're passionate about and put them on this website so that you can draw on the right person that will take advantage of both offers. So I'm excited to see, maybe check back in a couple months and kind of see how that's working for you. So it's just been amazing to work with you, Lisa, in the process. And thank you for coming on and just sharing some of your insights.
I thank you so much. Thanks for the time. And again, I hope everybody in America takes you up on this course because it's for everybody.
You heard from two powerhouse students. If you're already ready to dive in, you're like, I don't even need to hear the rest, go to buildablissfulbusiness.com, check out more about the program, see what the options are to jump in and join us. And if you're still like, you know what, I want to hear the rest of these stories, keep listening to the episode. Up next is Lisa and Allan. It's a little bit longer of a story, but so credible and so impactful. You heard just a snippet of their story at the very beginning of this episode and how much this program has changed their business, the way they think about it, the way they approach life and their marriage. I mean, how amazing is that? So if you want more information already on Build a Blissful Business, go to buildablissfulbusiness.com. If you're ready to hear some more stories from our amazing students, keep listening. Let's welcome back Lisa and Allan to the podcast. Lisa and Allan came on the podcast back in April. It's about 5 months ago. They talked about their experience with Build a Blissful Business. And I wanted to bring them back on to kind of get a little update, see what they've been up to, what they've been able to accomplish. And just a little refresher, if you didn't hear their testimonial before, they came into BBB. They had 2 different brands selling essential oils, doing journaling workshops, selling journals, and they were feeling overwhelmed with having to do 2 websites and 2 different brands and 2 different avatars. And so we brought them in. We created an avatar that was going to want both of them, those essential oils and the journals. We helped them blend into one website. So how's it going since then?
It's going really well. I'm laughing only because we had an event yesterday. So it's one of those day after kind of things that we were talking about. So we're here and we're happy and things are going well.
I love it. So it's been about 5 months since you've really been set up. So what kinds of things have y'all been able to do maybe in your business or your life that was just sort of like a dream, or gosh, when we have time, we'll be able to do, XYZ. Are you finding that there are some of those things that you had wanted to be doing that you're now able to do because things are kind of more set up and automated and maybe systemized better?
Absolutely. We were talking about it this morning, just thinking about visiting with you. And how do you want to say that, Al?
Well, one of the things that we found that starting a business, it's a lot of work.
That's right. Yeah, we're not going to sugarcoat that.
Yeah, there's a lot of work involved. We wish there was an easy button. There's not. It just takes a lot of work, dedication. It takes time and resources to do what we do, and we'll elaborate on that a little bit more.
But kind of as Allan was saying, going through the BBB, it helped us pull that together. It helped. We weren't having to do all of the research and how does this work and how does that work and are we doing enough and should we be doing more? You
Mhm.
guys with the program became those resources for us. And we were saying how it took something we were confident and comfortable with and just took it to a new level. You guys helped us like that second set of eyes.
Mhm.
So we now are
Yeah, with the new fresh perspective we've got from your team, which is really helpful because we got our business degrees, 20 plus years ago when
Mhm.
things were different. I mean,
Yeah.
the concept of business is still there, but the introduction of the way we communicate with our audiences
Yes.
has changed.
Yeah.
And, with that knowledge, I can go back and look at, how to run a business, look at the financial. That
Mhm.
stuff is basically still the same. But
Mhm.
how we reach a customer, reach an audience, that was something that wasn't taught back in school. It was back then. It was get out and shake hands, maybe make phone calls.
Mhm.
Totally different. So your perspective you brought allowed us to kind of narrow in on that with a different method than what we were accustomed
Mhm.
to and what were taught in school.
And you guys in the program became such a resource. And we are communicating with our email list better. We're communicating with our team better. We are setting up funnels and working on that piece with that comfort of, oh my goodness, we got to get back to so-and-so. No, oh, wait a minute, it's already done.
Mhm.
And you guys again brought that in the program, brought that to us. So again, took our confidence, but helped us focus. Who are we speaking to? How should we speak to them? What words would help us speak better
Right.
instead of an academic? How do we simplify and get more impact? So where are we going with this? We have an ebook with extras that is just about this close to going out. And we have an online course we're working on. And again, how many more emails are we sending out
Right.
to our people and communicating? So it has changed a whole lot.
Like even at our vendor events where everything was pen to paper, we're doing a giveaway. Well, here's a pen, here's a paper, here's a form. Well, we've had our customers saying, where's your QR code? It's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. So yesterday we showed up with QR codes. So
love it.
there's that audience out there that wants it quicker, faster, and I don't want to use a pen. But there were those that said, I'm glad you got a pen because I like putting pen to paper. And when I found the journal being representative at yesterday's expo, they said, you know what, I love the feel of a pen. And there are those that wanted the QR codes. So we catered to both audiences, and that came from working with your team.
And that confidence, again, I shouldn't say confidence, it was just that boost. Again, the resource, how we brought it together, and we're more impactful, and we think differently, and we communicate. Well, we've always communicated pretty well, but it took it to a different level, and now we think differently, and it's smarter,
right,
wiser. What would you say?
With that website that we've invested into, and with the services, what we found too is being able to automate some of those manual functions, like filling out manual cards for a drawing. And we have to take all that and manually put it into the website. But if you have something simple as a QR code, it automatically dumps in there and it's there for us. And then it gives us the leads that are critical. That's why we do events, is to gather leads so we have an audience.
And talking to people to complement that online piece we want to do. And then with what you guys have done too, as we mentioned, that communication piece, and we're providing more services in less time. We're more direct with the people we're with. It's just a smoother transition, and we're hitting our target audience. We know that avatar. We understand how those pieces work together, and it streamlines, especially if you're a little bit of a perfectionist. It streamlines our writing. It directs that a little bit better. All of it just, in fact, back to the fact that we had the two different directions we were going. The way you guys pulled it together, I can't tell you how that simplified our life.
Yeah.
So, and it is continuing to.
Yeah, one of our observations from yesterday was the audience that we met 6 months ago. This was when we were starting to really ramp up and get our website and giving it the direction we wanted.
And that new light. Yeah.
They were actually excited to see us. It's like, oh, you guys are back. I bought that book from you this last go around, and we came in with some different branding. I should say more obvious branding, which is with banners and things that represented us. But what people came to see was us. The brand is us. We are the personalities that people came to see.
Yeah.
And the other things that we learned from your team was how to do that, how to bring the branding, how to bring you to people, and people wanted to come see you and buy from you. And that's what we didn't have in our last, I should say a year ago, we didn't have that.
Well, and we understood, as Allan said, we both have business degrees. So it's not that we didn't know, and I have an art background. So we understood appearance, but that's not branding. We understood branding, but not to the level that you guys brought it to us. So we were tweaking things we already knew. And you guys brought that out of us, brought it into our conversations, as we mentioned. You brought it into our work. You're bringing it in. There's, I don't know how many times, just yesterday, because it was our first show of the fall, you guys were there. We had conversations about it, all the pieces that are clicking. They're coming together now in a way they weren't before, and they feel solid. So our base is more confident, because before, sometimes we're like, I think this is the right direction. I think this is where we should go. But we were spending too much time maybe over here, too much time over there. And then where's our energy and time for the people we need to be in front of? And working with you guys brought all that together. So now we feel like we're going a direction.
Yeah, we're no longer in the fog. We can see through the fog, and we can see a path ahead of us. We can see where we need to be going and where we need to focus energy versus just time and just doing things just because that's what we've done all these years. That, okay, stop doing that. That's not working. We had to realize that. Yeah.
We're smiling more. We're laughing more.
I love that.
And we're having more fun. Even though in some ways we're working harder because we get it, it's passion driving that. It's not, oh my gosh, we got something, we got this extra to do or that, and we're not sure we're doing it. Now we're enjoying the process.
And it took a different mindset to get there. We couldn't take what we were doing a year ago and try to make it work, because what we were doing,
it's exhausting.
It was exhausting, and we didn't have quite the success that we have today. And we didn't have the direction, and I should say the clarity. We have some clarity of where we're going with this.
And our email list has taken off. We have many more options for that coming in, and people sharing. So just all the way around, all those things we wanted
are here. And the funny thing with that is we always searched for those contacts, those customers, those email addresses, those phone numbers. Now that we have those that have participated in the expos, and we're very happy to say, yeah, we want to know more. Now that we have that, it's critical that you follow up. Otherwise, what we did at our 12-hour day yesterday doesn't mean nothing unless you do something. You've got to do something with that. And that is what we've learned through your group, through the funnels that were created.
And because we use that in our speech now too. And back to who knows where this is going. I remember the day that you guys told me, okay, hold on. All the things you asked for and you wanted are starting to come to you. Take a break here and go for it. And it is truly all those things we wanted are coming in almost faster than we can handle, including a community leader yesterday talking to us about doing a workshop for community employees. And could we take this to another? And we're getting ready to do a retreat in a couple of weeks. And we have a full slate on top of our jobs of classes we're teaching through January, like 14 or something,
Right.
and other vendor events. And it's not daunting. Our schedule's a little silly, but we feel it. We're streamlined. And especially when we're thinking about the online and the ebook and those things that we're coming up with to reach more people and yet have that personal connection with them, like we have enjoyed making, to feel that change
Right.
with the individuals, to answer personally and yet still streamline and bring in a larger audience, which is more revenue. I mean, it's just this like.
And that's exactly right. We had a product, a single product, and we were kind of focused on that single product as a source of revenue. But as we started to listen to what our audience was wanting, whether that be, participating at expos or community ed classes or retreats, that's what our customers were asking us for. So we had to take that, we broadened it, and we have multiple streams of revenue. It's not all coming from what we thought it was going to come from.
Yeah.
And then that was amazing. Okay, stop trying to think that is your source of revenue. It is part of it, but you can't leave all this other revenue, on the table, because it's saying, please listen to us. Talk to us. We want more than just what you think your product line is. Listening to our audience changed our perception of how we have to expand that.
And we came into it thinking we were on top of this because we're not, we got our act together.
Yeah.
But we came in trying to pre-plan what others would think. And there's a difference between knowing your audience and planning and bringing the resources you shared with us and taught us, that education piece that helped us understand why we're doing it, how things work. Now we've got the tools so that as we're talking to people, as we're bringing in the audience, they're telling us what they need, and we are letting it go and gleaning from that all these wonderful little treasures that are inspiring the ideas for the next.
Right.
So,
And it sounds like you have time to do that. Time now to actually take it in and then create what they're asking for.
much more time, and it's more happy time. Because there were some times that the frustrations and feeling overwhelmed, because we do work.
Mm-hmm.
And especially Allan, I mean, we never know at the drop of a hat if we're on the road and helping other companies. So to then balance with our own things, it was tough. Now we feel like it's joined. And again, we work better together and we're happier, which was important to us because we're number one.
Yeah, that's key.
Yeah.
Is we can make this work together. And when our customers or even our students, they see us together, they see it as a collective effort. They see that these two people are kind of happy. They look like they enjoy what they do. And that is, again, part of that branding. That is a part of us. They come to see us because it's something different in us than they've seen with others. So
And that came from working with you guys.
That's
and
amazing.
what you brought to us.
That's amazing. I can just see, if you are watching on YouTube, y'all can just see the glow. Like, I can see the glow, Lisa, in your cheeks and your smile, and just like the connection that you two have. Like, I love it all. I'm so happy. I'm so happy for you that you guys have, it takes work and it does take time. Like, this is not going to happen overnight. This is like a 5-month check-in since you've really gotten things set up, and you were in the round previously before that. So, it hasn't been a year, and you've accomplished so much, but it also doesn't happen in a week's worth of time,
And one other thing that we were thinking about is you guys, we changed platforms, but you guys would have worked with us if we were still on WordPress, or if we hadn't switched to Get Oiling, or if we'd been Kajabi. You were all so knowledgeable, and okay, let's work with that, and you brought that piece to it too. So we were thinking, what other things are we going to need to buy or make or whatever? No, you just okay, here's what you've got. Let's do it. And so that was helpful for us as well. And it married those other pieces together so beautifully that it never felt like, here's another add-on, here's another this, or we got to shift that. You just, no, this is no big deal. We work it together and here's where we go. And it was like, oh, it doesn't have to be complicated, you know?
Yeah. I've gone complicated and realized how much stress that can add.
Yes.
So even we like, you know, oh, let's add this program on and this one to do this fancy thing and that fancy thing. And it's like, now it's too much. And so I learned the hard way. And so now I really help guide students, like, let's keep it super simple. Let's do one platform. Oh, you want to do that? We can work, we can figure that out in here to not make it complicated. And that's important, especially in the beginning when you're starting out, when it's all new and fresh. Simple is really the best.
Well, and you guys, you know, I had barely, you know, I was doing even graphics the hard way. And it was just teetering on Canva, but didn't have time to develop. It was easier to use what knowledge I had in the other things I was juggling around. But Canva was a good example of what you guys did. Your videos, put it together, Claire's work on and teaching that. And within that long, I was like using Canva everywhere. And it became a no-brainer. And the simplification, holy moly, I went from hours messing with things in different forms to, I got this. I like this. I'm using this.
One of the other things that we found that, you know, with our old website, we had probably 100 different articles in there that we spent countless hours putting together. So when we were switching that up, it's like, oh, there's a lot of good content here. We had to refresh it, but we didn't have to go dig it and go find a lot of new content. We was able to recycle that and we're able to take, in every article we write now, it's like, okay, we want to put that into the blog, but we also don't have to go and reinvent that article. We can share it with other platforms, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or a newsletter, so we can recycle it. And that's what I think gives us the extra bang for our articles. So we don't need to just set it out there one time and say, okay, well, I hope somebody reads it. We'll put it out there multiple times because all of our audience is in different spots.
And then again, as Allan's saying, we take that article, we now look at it with different eyes. So though it's there, the previous article, now we're looking, who's the avatar? Where are we going with this? What are we offering? Back to what you taught us and some of the steps. What are we looking for? And it's become second nature to use it as a quick check. How does this fit? And then tweak, and it's out.
Love it.
Versus, is it going this direction? Is it going to, it's going this way? No, it pulls it all together, nips it, often shortens what could get wordy, pulls that together, and now it's a product that directly fits with confidence.
I love it. Y'all are amazing students because you really did take kind of what we gave you and you took it in and you were like, okay, let's do this. And now you're putting it into action and it's working for you. So thank you. I appreciate you for trusting us to give you the knowledge and like, look at it this way, go at it this way. And you took that in and you're really doing it. And I can just see the difference that it's making in everything that you're doing. So thank you. I appreciate you for putting in the effort to do it. And I love seeing it pay off. I can't wait to check in, in another 5 months and kind of see what's happening with your business. I just saw you guys on your Instagram putting your sticker on the back of your truck with your boundtojournal.com website. So that's super exciting. So I love seeing it all and I love following your journey. One last thing before we jump off, for the person out there that is feeling overwhelmed by like all the things to do. I think you've kind of shared with them that like, if you're feeling overwhelmed, there is a lot to do and this is going to simplify it for you. What about the person out there that's really like, this is a big investment for my business and still kind of on the fence with that and they're not sure? What would you say to them about the investment?
Again, that's one thing that I mentioned about business. There is a cost to it. There's you got to have some capital to invest in your business if you want it to succeed.
In education.
And for us, and we looked at it as you got to trust the process. You got to trust
Mhm.
the people behind the scene. And hopefully our testimony is, you know what, we trusted the process. It was a lot of work to get to the point where we could see through why we were being taught what we were taught and showing different ways to do business. We trusted the process. We see it now unfolding before us, and having that open mind, trusting the process and an open mind, and be willing to invest in your business.
Yes. And to add to that, one of the things that we've come back around on top of that to say, what was it costing us before in time and wasted energy? And how, I mean, my gosh, what now takes us, you know, this much time took us this much time, heartache, stress. That impact wasn't worth what money we put in then. Now we're using anything that we put any money into, we're using it wiser. So anything we've already established, you know, if just to say, you know, whether it's website or events that we're going to, now we know our money is wisely spent. We know where it's going. And that's where that education piece with you guys is so valuable, because we might be still way back kind of at square 1.3, you know, not getting any bang for our buck, no turnover, fewer names, fewer students, all of those pieces. How do you put a price tag on what we lost?
Yeah. Tools and resources
Yeah.
is what your team did a great job of.
And we,
they don't mean anything unless you put them to practice. So
and so if I look at what would have been branding training, what would I have spent on, we have spent on coaching? What would we have spent on, you know, going down the line of branding, all the things you guys worked with us on, the coaching for copyright, the training for funnels, all of those pieces that you hit in Blissful Business, plus the subtleties and the knowledge you have from doing it yourself that you gave us and shared with us. We put the price tag on it.
Yeah.
If we could find the people, we couldn't find the people. We looked to that spoke to us in a comfortable call. What would you say? Just common,
right,
matter of fact,
personable
way. We couldn't find those people. You brought all of that together in one package, which might to some feel like a big bite at one time, but you made it doable. You broke it in financially into chunks, but again, that package is worth much more than that.
And good coaches push you, and yeah, we felt, oh my God, they're pushing us. We got to do something. But again,
Well,
we made the investment, and we know that we needed to be pushed. So that was huge part. It's
Yeah.
not just say, okay, here's a program, here's the costs, but no, there was accountability that we were held to, and we had to be pushed. Sometimes we
didn't always meet it.
Yeah, we didn't. We wanted to push as hard as we could, but you know, given that there's life, you got to live life in between trying to run a business, our own business, and take the time to do what we've invested our resources into. But no, to me, it's, you got to trust the process, trust the people behind it, and watch it work. Look at some of the testimonials that where these processes have actually been a success and has changed people's life in a lot of different ways.
And it boosted business. It's not only bringing in more income, but again, what it's done to our psyche, what it's done to even our relationship, what it's done to our daily life, freed us up. How do you put a price tag on that? I can't imagine being back where we were and spinning the wheels to the point of burnout. You guys pulled it together. Let's go. Here we go. Here's the pieces. We're financially and emotionally
better, much better places. Yeah.
So, love it. Yeah. Thank you all so much. You can find Lisa and Allan at boundtojournal.com. See their amazing work over there, what they're doing. I'm just so grateful for the two of you. I've gotten chills like multiple times as you've been talking and sharing. And I hope that your message can help change someone else's life, give them the confidence to jump in, jump forward so that they can get their business set up online and just find some of the joys that you all are finding. Because that's what we really want for people. We really want them to just find the joy and the happiness, and for business to not be stressful, but be joyful and successful at the same time. So thank y'all for coming on the podcast, for sharing your thoughts with us. And I can't wait for people to go kind of check you out and follow you on your journey.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to have Leanne Houston here to chat about Build a Blissful Business, her experience with it, kind of what she's been up to in her business since joining. It's been a while. Leanne, how are you?
I've been well. How have you been?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I was trying to think about earlier how long it's been since you joined BBB, but it was originally DDA when you joined. Yes.
So I'm probably going to keep referring to it as DDA.
Yes. So DDA, same thing as BBB. So I love it. Well, let's just jump right in. And why don't you just you can share your business with us and kind of where you were at, why you joined the program in the first place, and then how it's kind of helped you in your business since then.
Okay. So I don't know if other people fall into this trap, but I was feeling like I had to figure out how to do everything when it came to my business. And there's just some things like technology, it's not in my wheelhouse. Like my 14-year-old now takes my phone and shows me how to do things. Like I've all of a sudden reached that point. And my business was getting really stressful because I felt like I had to figure everything out. So I originally started with Young Living. I kind of fell into it because I was a teacher for a little over 10 years. And then we were pregnant with our twins and we were moving. So it just didn't make sense for me to keep working, and I was really happy to stay home. Someone in our house was suffering from anxiety, and so I started using oils. Long story short, they've literally changed our lives. So I started passionately sharing about that, and then kind of unexpectedly, not accidentally, got paid for it, which was really fun. Mm-hmm. And I had so much joy in helping others use oils. And then as my business was growing, I started focusing on how do I build a website? How do I come up with all this content to send new members, all these things. And I found myself just being drained from something that started being solely to fill my cup. Yeah. And it was almost like doing the opposite of that. So I paid someone to build my website on, it wasn't Wix.
Were you on WordPress?
Yes.
Yeah. I thought it was right.
Because I thought that's what you should, you read all the articles and it's great for SEO. And if you want to have like a legitimate business, that's what you should do. So I did it. The problem was I had no idea how to fix anything when it broke, and everything broke. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't because it wasn't set up properly. Things just become outdated and you have to know how to get in. So I'm not serving my people because I'm too busy stressing about how to fix broken links in coding when it doesn't even make sense. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, and I think that's when I jumped into DDA, because it was like, who am I pretending to be? Now I'm using oils for anxiety for my business.
You're like, I've caused my own anxiety from the business that I started about sharing about the passion that I have. This is messed up. No, yes, I remember you coming in and just being like, my website's a mess. Like, it's stressing me out. There's too much to do. I need to streamline, systemize, automate, get a better, system process that you can use. And so you did. You switched platforms, and you're using Get Oiling or Tractwell?
Get Oiling.
Get Oiling, sister company. So kind of same.
I love it.
but you're using Get Oiling. And so now that you've gotten things set up, or I guess I should ask, because we create templates for Get Oiling, for Attractwell, for Kajabi. So you had the pre-built templates that we had, and we've revised them. We've made them even better than when you joined. But how did those help you? Did they save you time? Did they, you said you're not techie. So how was that?
Yeah. Another, something else that's not my strength is also getting started. So while I had this idea of what I wanted my website, because I liked my original website, what it looked like, and Claire helped me update it and kind of move it to Get Oiling with the templates. But so even though I had the idea of what I wanted, sitting down and starting from scratch again was so overwhelming. So I would spend hours with nothing to show for it. And I hate that. So the templates, I would plug everything in and then be able to change it. And it's like some other things, like class outline someone gives me. It's like, oh my gosh, I had no idea where to get started. Thank you for this. But if you saw the end product, I don't even know if you would know it started with a template, because it's so easy to like plug everything in and then slowly change it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was a really great starting point. And the community was more helpful than I thought. I thought since I already knew what I wanted, I was going to plug it in and move on. And Claire just asked the right questions for me to like really sit back and think, what do I want people to see? What do I want people to feel when they open up my site?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Gosh, she's so talented at the design and at asking the right questions to really pull it out of people, to really then take it and bring it to life through design. She's always been so skilled in that. We're so lucky to have her. And so now that you've got things set up, you've got your, emails automated. Tell me now how you're feeling in your business, in terms of like communicating with your community, and the engagement there between them. Yeah.
So I would say my biggest strength right now in my business is my emails. I have a really high open rate. And so another downfall of mine, I'm just sharing everything I'm not very good at on this thing, is I get really,
I'm sure people can relate.
I get really distracted by like new shiny things. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I would see a class being offered for, whether it be something we can do in person or on a Zoom, or I could move to a blog post or something. And I just want to do it all. But because everything's so well set up, and because my education is pretty much planned through the end of the year now, that it's easier to not get distracted by everything and pick and choose what is actually fitting in my business. Because I feel like a while ago, I was looking like the target for essential oils. And while like everyone would want to be a target, it doesn't work when you're first starting out, because it's like, I wanted to help with hormones and anxiety and ditch and switch and literally everything. So my education was like all over the place. Mm-hmm. So the systems really helped me kind of streamline and not get as distracted, and focus on what I want my current customers to hear from me. Mm-hmm. So it's helped me really be able to focus on the content, since all I have to do is put it in the system that's already running.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, so casual. Yeah, it's good. It's great. It does. It just makes things, I was thinking about it the other day about like my house and how cluttered it is, and how when things are cluttered, everything feels like chaos and stress and anxiety, and you don't know what to do and you don't know where to start because there's so much going on. And then I decluttered the bathroom and I threw out so much stuff, all the stuff that wasn't necessary, and, put everything in a place. And now I have a system for like where things go. And I was like, this is like business.
Yeah.
and automation. And when you aren't using a website, using automations, funnels, things like that, it feels like your business is the most cluttered, stressful home possible. And then when you develop the systems, the process, and the automation to really kind of make things work behind the scenes, it feels like your business is this clean sanctuary where you can just come to focus on the things that you're really passionate about and connect with the people you want to connect with. Does that
Yes.
analogy feel right?
That's totally accurate. And then you have to take a step back and think like, didn't I stop working outside of the home because it was going to be too stressful while running my house
Right.
with my husband traveling as much and all these things? And like, if this is how I'm going to be feeling so weighted down, then why don't I just go back to what I was doing before?
Yeah. Yeah.
So do you know anything about the Enneagram?
You do.
Okay. I'm
A little
upset.
bit. A little
Okay.
bit.
So I'm a 3, and 3s are known as being achievers, competitive with themselves. Yep. Yeah.
That's me
So I won't waste too much time talking about it, but this is what's so interesting, and it shocked me when I first learned this and then realized this is exactly what I do. When 3s are under stress, they go to the negative side of 9, which is like a sloth. And so when I would, go into my, like your analogy, the home is just so unorganized and cluttered. Instead of like plowing through like you would think a 3 would do, I would just take a nap. And so it's like my business is all over the place. I have so many things to fix and I have so many things to do, and I don't really know where to start. So I'm going to turn my computer off and pretend I really have to do something else.
Pretend I need to really binge watch this show.
I do. We're just going to avoid it altogether. So
yes, I love it. I love it. Okay, so we'll just wrap this up. I love all of that. Thank you for sharing that. Kind of where you at before, the things that you struggled with.
Thank you for walking me through all this. I'm so grateful for it.
I'm so glad that you took it. You applied it. Your website is beautiful. I'm featuring your website in our masterclass because it's just so beautiful.
It makes me so happy. It's like it's now my happy place. I love it.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So final words to someone who is thinking about it. They're a bit on the fence. Maybe their business isn't where they want it to be right now. And they're feeling a little bit like how you were, just kind of like, this was my passion and now it's my stressor. What do you have to say about that and, potentially joining Build a Blissful Business?
Yeah. I hope someone is listening who did not pay for someone to set up a different website or someone else. Like, I hope I can save someone the time and money that I spent. Because, when you're trying to get all these systems in place, you're not really working throughout all that time. So it was time and money that was wasted. Definitely not a joyful time. And then I had nothing to show for it. So I hope someone's listening thinking, should I do this? Should I do this? Should I do this? Just jump into this program and work the steps in order, because also I like to jump ahead and just get things done. And it's built for a reason. You really need to go through who is your target audience, what are your brand colors, because if you do that work step by step, your website is going to be built so quickly. There's no stress once you've already worked through that. So the program was built like that for a reason.
Yes.
You can
100%. 100%. So I've had multiple people say, like, at first I was like, why am I answering these questions? Why am I diving in?
I think that was me. That was on a call. And I was like, what am I doing?
And others. And then they're like, and then I clicked and I realized, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, okay, now I have everything that I need to then do this part, and this part. There is a method to the madness.
Yeah.
Trust the process. And I'm so grateful that you did. And you'll see magical things happen on the other end, I promise. Yes.
Agree.
I love it. Well, Leanne, thank you so much for coming, hanging out, having a little chat.
Yeah.
If anyone has questions after watching this about the program, please reach out, support@thechrissychin.com. I would be happy to answer your questions, whatever you need. The doors aren't going to be open for very long. So make the decision, right? Make the decision and jump in with us. We can't wait to serve you and be there for you. Again, thank you so much for being here. Wow, what incredible stories that everyone shared with us. Now is the time for you to decide if you're going to jump into Build a Blissful Business. Are you going to write the next chapter in your story? And is it going to be like the other people where you are working smarter, you're getting things set up, you're being efficient in what you're doing, things are automated, they're clean, they're streamlined, releasing the stress from you and the chaos from your business, and really making it so that it's more doable and a lot more joyful for you too. You have the ability to make that decision, and that's up to you. I hope that you join us inside Build a Blissful Business and we get to work close together for the next 4 months. That's always the most exciting part to me, is to work with you inside the program, learn about you and your business, and help you strategize and get the right things in place. It really lights me up inside. And I love hearing the stories from our students, like you just heard, of these huge accomplishments that they have made in very little time. And I'm excited for that to be your story next, for you to come on to the podcast and on the YouTube channel and share your amazing journey inside Build a Blissful Business, and how your business is doing and how you're thriving and how your life has been freed up because of these automations and these better systems. If you're ready to join us inside Build a Blissful Business, go to buildablissfulbusiness.com. Check out the options for you to enroll with us today. Again, the doors are closing very soon. And if you have any questions about the program, about your business, and you're wondering, is this really a fit for me? I want to be there to answer your questions. So email support@thechrissychin.com. I want you to feel confident about your decision, whether you're jumping in with us or you're going to wait on this. We're not going to open the doors until next year. So now is your opportunity to get things set up and ready for the rest of the year so that you can be ready to go in the new year, just freshly automated around the holidays in the new year. But I want you to feel confident about either decision, in or out. So if you have questions, you need some clarity, please reach out, support@thechrissychin.com, and I'd be happy to answer your questions. Can't wait to see you inside. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you got some value out of this episode, I would love some support. And the best way to do that, so I can keep showering you with loads of actionable tips, is to hit that subscribe button. Leave a review or a comment if you're on YouTube, and share this podcast with a friend. And when you share it with a friend on social, please tag me so I can reshare your share in my stories. It's been an absolute pleasure hanging out. I appreciate the heck out of you for showing up. And now it's time for you to take imperfect action so you can work less and enjoy and earn a whole lot more.